dozens of phone calls that came down to both facilities where they did not want to keep me any longer than they had. Wanted to first start off with that. I bid everybody grand rising. And I also would like to say that it's ironic that it was pointed out earlier that the day that this federal task force came to my place to apprehend me and to serve the warrant, that it was almost identical to what happened with Fred Hampton. It was at the same time. It was the same tactics. The only difference was they too approached a lot more cautiously, but I can't get into those details. All that'll come out. But at the end of the day, I wanted to point out that they're sending a message. And the message was not so much just, this trumped up charge that they've come up with 3 months after the fact. We'll talk about that later too. But it's the fact that it was the timing. It was right after I received the Global Leadership. It was the fact that it was right after, we had just gotten back. But the point I'm making is the timing of it just seemed so ironic that they were sending a message not just to us in America, but around the world. And we all talk about history repeating itself. No, we don't want to repeat history. So I bid everybody good morning. I am not allowed to be on social media, but a radio interview is definitely something that I can do. So when the good folks reached out to me, I said, of course, I'd be more than willing to sit down and to dialogue with you, but at the same time, give some reassurance to all of those folks out there who don't know what's going on, who probably haven't really kept up with the NFAC, who haven't kept up with all of the episodes that have happened throughout the summer into the fall, and who probably have no idea why the U.S. government would respond in the way that it has at both the state and at the federal level. At this particular juncture, if you're not familiar with the NFAC, we are the largest black militia, all black militia. We're not a hate group. We never were. We're not a racist hate group. We're not opposed or threaten anybody, anything of that nature. We were a black militia put together to protect the black community, put together to educate our own people about owning firearms responsibly, and to also teach the art and practice the art of self-policing for our own people so we could take care of ourselves when it appears that when other people do it, we tend to end up dead. The NFAC, of course, has been ignored by mainstream media to a certain degree unless something negative happens. None of the successes do they report. We're not surprised at that. What I am surprised at is the fact that there are those folks out there that are acting like they just heard about this for the first time. And having your head in the sand in this third episode of the pro-black movement is not wise, because this is a different type of individual that we're dealing with in this era we live in, and they know that they're dealing with a different type of individual in this particular era, and they're prepared to deal with us, because a lot of you all are not prepared to deal with them. So I wanted to open by saying that a lot of folks have pointed out the irony and what's going on. I don't know if you want me to get into detail about our past with the NFAC. I'm not sure how much your listeners are aware. We were the first on the ground for Ahmaud Arbery. We were on the ground for Louisville, Kentucky, twice, and then, of course, down in Lafayette. All of these in support of blacks who were either murdered or investigations that appeared to be stalls surrounding the murders of